This is Fun Football Podcast, Isaac. Oh, and I'm heated. After all and I've got Med here, Shots and Sideline, my host from Blitz. We're just doing a short little Cowboys video after all the hate that I got today after saying Dak Prescott. I just want to let you know y'all suck. So this is for you, and I'm gonna give you reasons why I wouldn't pay Dak, but as a Packers fan, I kind of hope y'all do. So you guys continue to have playoff losses every year. But the amount of hate that I got today, I actually reported some people on Twitter, which I didn't expect to do. So thanks, guys. I tried to come at you with knowledge. Now I'm going to give you a video of knowledge, and it's going to be on Twitter. Ned, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm actually responding to a person that is also telling me I don't know shit. So, I mean, I'm sorry to say it like that, but yeah.
No, it's okay. You know what? This is going to go up. This is going to go up on YouTube, and I'm not going to curse, but I want to. And, people are pretty mean today, honestly, and I'm over it. So y'all are going to get an education right now. I'll come at you with stats. And yes, I'm aware that the run defense was terrible for the Cowboys. I'm aware that Dan Quinn had a terrible game plan. But you know what? If you're going to pay a guy $60 million, be sure, and Dak isn't it. He's a fringe, maybe bottom of the top 10 QB. And he's just not worth $60 million, regardless of how much the cap's going to go up. And it's up to $255.5 million. It went up $30 million. Let's say it keeps ballooning up, and we get to close to $350 to $400 million by the end of this contract. The way the Cowboys go, where they're going to keep pushing money forward, Med, it's his cap number will be exceeding $80 million in 3 to 4 years. That's still too much.
It's crazy.
It's too much for a guy that, like, I'm sorry, like, when you look at his playoff games, this last game, this is what I hate about Dak. He does the stat padding crap that he does against bad teams. He ended up with 400 yards, but I believe he had 120 by halftime. He had that one TD at the end of the first half. He had 2 picks, a pick 6, and almost had a third pick. I know CeeDee Lamb dropped a few passes, but there's other playoff games too. That's what's disappointing about the guy. His first playoff game against Green Bay was great. He had 300 yards. I think he was a rookie that year. Lost the game, but had 3 TDs. That was awesome. 2 years later against Seattle, subpar game. They won it, actually. 200 yards and a touchdown. And then against the Rams, he was okay. 266 yards and a touchdown. It's not terrible. It's just straight stats. That San Fran game was not great in 2022. 250 yards, a TD, and a pick. That wasn't outstanding. That wasn't that great at all. Against Tampa last year, just killed it with 300 yards and 4 TDs. But then in that divisional round, when they needed them to get to the conference championship, goose egg, 12 points, only 206 yards passing, only 1 TD and 2 picks. And then he followed it up in this game. That's 2 bad playoff games in a row, and really 3 out of 4. So what's the market price? I mean, the market price is going to be 60, but yeah, that's my spiel. I got more, but
no. This is your show, so you could spill out all you want. I mean, I know that we typically.
I'm just so angry. I'm just so angry that there's no reasoning with Cowboys fans, and it happened with the Charger fans too. And I know that you're gonna have unobjective fans, but here's what bothers me: is that I was trying to help, and I just got all this hate, and it's like, okay, then I won't help. Overpay the guy. The problem is that he's a good dude, and he's a good quarterback, and he plays for the Cowboys, which is like playing on the Yankees. Yes. It's such an important position, dude. That's why I was like, I got to make a quick show on this, because it's such an important position. But I live near here, and I have to hear this crap all the time. And as good as he is, and this was his best year statistically at 36 TDs, 9 picks, it was great. I can hear all these stats. But it's not that impressive to go beat up the Giants twice in the Redskins, or the Commanders.
That's 4 W's in a row right there. You just
named it. Who were his stats in those games? Let's look up his stats in those games. Let's just throw some stats at people, since reasoning doesn't make sense. Stats, it won't matter. Also, I'm going to get so much flack on this video, and I don't even care anymore. Seriously, like, y'all don't make sense anyways. We've got some Chiefs news for you in a second. That's crazy. Okay.
That's fine.
We're going to have to break that in a minute.
So one of the things So one of the things that happened with me is I got this guy that is actually asking me because I made a take similar to yours where I actually talked about not just Dak but the whole team. And of course he comes at me. It's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and he says, "You don't know anything about football." Okay, guy, I'm gonna go ahead and
I had
you
some
real
people
quick.
tell me that today.
I am a football coach. I am a former semi-pro football player. I have played past high school. You probably sat on the bench, guarding the water, tackling anyone that got near it, and sat in the center. When you're sitting there and you tell me this, I've already corrected many people that have actually came at me like this before. And, it's disrespectful. Look, I'm just sitting here trying to give you my own opinion. I wasn't rude about it. I said, look, this is the way it is. If you pay Dak Prescott $60 million, what are you going to do with the other positions you got to upgrade? Your defense got ran all over in that Packers game in the playoffs. It got ran all over. Just because you play the Giants and Commanders twice a year, that's 4 W's. You also beat a Philadelphia Eagles team that checked out early that year. They're already in Cancun by week 13. So we know a little bit about this. Yeah, you won the NFC East championship. Congratulations. It is what it is. But at the same time, y'all, you have CeeDee Lamb that's going to need a contract extension after 2025. You got Micah Parsons, who showed me, if anything, that he can get neutralized by just running either at him or running away from him. Just put a blocker on him.
He was one of the only guys that played hard in that Packer game. I was actually like, Lamb sucked. Parsons was one of the only guys. He got 2 holding calls called against him, the Packers O-line. He was one of the only guys who showed up in that first half. This is my problem. You can't do this with a guy that doesn't show up for key moments. Sorry. I got so fired up. Intro. Dude, that's exactly how I felt though. Like I was trying to give up a good point, and people told me it was for clickbait. So tell you what, now I'm making another video, and I bet it'll get a bunch of hits because it's about Dak, but it's actually to provide some valid points about why you shouldn't pay him. Because if I didn't care about the Cowboys a little bit, I would just sit here and clown and say pay him 70, pay him 75, give him 4 years, 300, break the bank. But don't. Right. Because I'd actually rather see the Cowboys be a competent team, but Jerry is going to undermine that team at every cost. He doesn't even let his son GM effectively. And I don't even think his son can be a GM. So that's the problem, is that people came at me in a disrespectful way. So now you either get muted, blocked, or reported. Have fun with that. Twitter, I've shown, like, if you're not going to even, like, if all you're going to say is, I don't know football, and then not provide an actual take or try to discredit me at every turn, I'm not going to play that with you. I'm just going to keep making videos and trying to have fun with this. So you don't want to listen, just shove off.
And one of the other things that actually happened when I actually, I came back at the guy after this and I said, he was like, what's that have to do with paying Dak? It has a lot to do with paying Dak, because if you can't upgrade any other position, you're not going to be able to do it. You just spend your money elsewhere. If you can get Dak on a $40 million contract again, I consider that a victory.
Absolutely. I pay him 40.
I'll pay him.
I pay him like 45 even, but I wouldn't give him a no tag clause or a no trade clause. That'd absolutely be chucked out the door. I would be an incentive. I was talking with a fan, a coworker buddy today. He's a big Cowboy fan. Make it incentive laden to make the Super Bowl and the conference championship. First team all pro. Those 3 things need to be tagged in there. And playoff victories are worth like $2 million. It needs to be more incentive laden than a normal quarterback steal is. And it's going to be a little insulting to Dak, but also what's insulting is the way he has performed in big games. It just is.
He's 2-5. He's 2-5 in the playoffs.
And check this out. I pulled this up. Against Washington, he had 4 TDs in both games. So there's 8. Against the Giants, he had 4 TDs. And why isn't it pulling that one up? Oh, he had nothing in the first one because they blew him out 40-0. They didn't even need anything. So there's 12 touchdowns in those 3 games. So now bring his stats down to 24 TDs in those other games. What did he do against Buffalo? 134 yards, 0 TDs, and a pick in a road game that they needed. That's impressive. Good job, Dak. What did he do against San Fran? 153 yards, 1 TD and 3 picks, but everyone wants to have amnesia about that. Good game, Dak. Against the Cardinals, 249 yards, a TD interception, only 16 points. Good job, Dak.
And that's a team that's picking 4th.
The Cardinals were weird last year. They
They're
beat
really
some good teams. They were a weird team.
well. You know who didn't really struggled with the good teams? Dallas. They went 4-4 last year against teams with over a 500 record. They lost to the Miami Dolphins that I think beat one team that was a team that had over a 500 record, and it was Dallas. What's that tell you? I'm not saying y'all suck. I'm saying you're not far from it, though.
No,
Whenever
the biggest problem, they can do this and they can spin their wheels. And I know that paying him would lower their cap number for this year, but it's not going to help you for the next year. And just the fact that, yes, you might have a worse quarterback if you get rid of Dak. Cooper Rush isn't as good. But also, are you going to continue to spin your wheels with a guy who flames out in the playoffs?
Like past the divisional player.
Kirk Cousins won one playoff game finally, but like he continued to have this problem too. I wouldn't pay Kirk Cousins that much, and I like him. He's a good dude. I just wouldn't. You have to find the right quarterback in the NFL, and you have to target those great teams to beat them. Like the Packers' goal right now is get by San Fran, get by Detroit. I'm not even worried about Dallas. They were a stepping stone we just stepped over. I'm not even concerned with them. Just not. I'm worried about San Fran, Detroit, the Rams. Those are the three teams I want to be able to beat next year in the NFC. Then your target, if you can beat those teams, is the Chiefs. That's the ultimate target. Pete said it right earlier from Foxborough Fellas podcast. I'm going to give him a shout out. You got to figure out how to target and beat those excellent teams. How do you do that? And that should be your ultimate goal. And the Cowboys can't even figure out how to win a playoff game. They're and I heard people saying, no quarterback would have won that playoff game. I'm sorry. Like, I don't believe that. Yes, their defense was terrible, but no, dude. No. This guy, you can't choke this poorly against an elite defense after having 400 yards. Let me just give you straight stats from Washington. He had 279 yards, 4 TDs, and a pick in that first game. And the one before that, 330 yards and 4 TDs. If you can do that against a bad defense, why can't you do it against a good one?
Correct.
Or Green Bay's defense wasn't even that good, and he sucked. It was 27-0. He spotted him 7 and stopped a drive. He stopped another drive with his pick. That was momentum changing those plays. I know all the other stuff happened, but dude, no. Okay, sorry. I'm going to let you do your take, and then we'll wrap this up.
Oh, you're good. No. So basically what I was trying to say is, look, you got 3 contracts coming up in the next couple of years. You got Micah Parsons, you got CeeDee Lamb, and you got Dak Prescott. If you give Dak Prescott $60 million a year, that counts for about 20 to 25% of your salary cap. That's a huge number. A lot of people don't realize that. You're already $4 million over the cap right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to be cutting.
Did you see all the free agents they have? So
they
got their center. They got their center Biotic. They got to decide what they're going to do with Gilmore. That's going to be fun. They've got Tyron Smith, their left tackle, who I think they may have to let go of. That's going to be a tough one. They've got to make a decision on Gallup. That's going to be fun for them. Are they going to let Pollard go? They've got a lot of issues and no money to figure it out with at all.
I think they're going to have to let them go. I mean, you're already $4 million over the cap, and this is with them figured in as being gone. I believe this is the estimated value of their salary cap is $4 million over right now, and that's with these guys gone. You're also losing your second best defensive lineman as far as sacks go, in Armstrong. He had 7.5 this past year. I know these stats because I just did a state of the franchise on the Dallas Cowboys. And Tony Pollard, he was all right, but he didn't really and truthfully, he felt more explosive as a backup running back because he had come in there and spell Ezekiel Elliott every now and then. But
I completely agree. He was better as that change of pace back.
Jonathan Hankins, who manned the middle on y'all's soft as Sharman run defense last year. This is, you got a lot of problems, especially on defense. I can't really say what I really want to say, but you couldn't, people were running through you like crap through a goose. And it baffles me whenever we get into discussion, because there are a couple fan bases, but the main fan base that a lot of people have problems with whenever you talk about their team is the Dallas Cowboys. You could talk about my team all
Hey,
day
don't
long.
talk
Look,
about them. They
straight
talk
up.
about
I
them, but don't talk about them. They want to talk. They want to chirp, and nobody talk back. That's all it is.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
all it is.
guys,
I hope
there's
this
a
gets a
reason
ton of
why
views, and if it doesn't, I don't.
there's a reason why a lot of people give you flack is because the Dallas Cowboys fans are just those people. Y'all, you're anointed as America's team, which annoys 31 other teams right now. Whenever, there was one point when y'all had Texas State and you said that the roof was open so God could watch his team. There was a lot of things that y'all said, the bravado. Now, granted, yes, I understand the Cowboys are an American icon. But at the same time, it's how you carry yourself. And when we sit here and we're actually reading up, I'd spend 4 hours on an episode. This is the only time where I've done something that is kind of like spot on like this. And I'm telling you facts. Dak is not a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, you don't even have him top 10. Yeah, I've got him fringe. Yeah, he's fringe for me. It's close. It's close to.
If you're talking $60 million, your ass better be elite. You better be Patrick Mahomes. You better be Joe Burrow. You better be Jalen Hurts. I don't even consider Jalen Hurts.
I don't either. Josh Allen. Those three are the standard, and then you've got Stroud.
But you know what they all have in common? They all played in a championship game for their conference. Dak can't say that.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Those teams. Wait, you mean those guys actually go to the third or the fourth?
They could actually sniff the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. The Cowboys fans don't know what that's like because it's been since dial-up that they've won a Super Bowl. And then they come at me with this 5 rings crap. Then I'm going to use all the Packers championships that they've had from the 60s. I heard that baloney argument today. Whatever.
Your best quarterback that y'all ever had was back in the 70s with Roger Staubach.
Absolutely. He was better than Aikman by a mile. He was. Aikman was great, but Aikman had Emmitt Smith, one of the better running backs in NFL history.
He had
Michael Irvin, one of the best receivers, and he had some studs on that defensive line, and he had Johnston, that offensive line. He had Hall of Famers left and right. They were
But you're not going to have those studs laid all over the place if you pay someone 25% of your salary cap.
Exactly. Somebody made that point. The salary cap, we did it in the salary cap. No. The salary cap was after 2 of those rings, and it didn't catch up until that third. They already won that third ring in the 90s by the talent, and the salary cap started really affecting them.
So there was a guy that came at you that also he didn't really come at me too much because we talked, but I brought up a point with him because I said that whenever the Dallas Cowboys, basically when he was like, well, you have to catch up with, well, no one's going to be able to because the salary cap. And he was like, well, we won one in the salary cap. You won one the year after it was instituted. And when you did, your Jerry Jones kind of cheated and gave him a lot of ballooned signing bonuses to actually lure the free agents to their team. That was the last Super Bowl back in 1995. I was 15. I'm 43. That was almost 30 years ago. 30 years
Honestly,
ago.
And somebody also made the argument the 49ers had won a Super Bowl. I'm like, no, they've been to Super Bowls. They haven't won one since 94, the 94 season. Cowboys haven't won one since 95. We are sneaking up on 30 years of this mediocrity. And if we're being honest, the root of the problem is Jerry Jones. It is. We all know that. But
he chased
right now,
Jimmy Johnson.
because they kept McCarthy, because they kept Mike McCarthy, the problem now is, the biggest question is Dak. That's why the media talks about it. I'm going to talk about it. I can make a video about Russell Wilson. You know what? They overpaid him, and now they're considering taking a huge dead cap hit because of it. Do the Cowboys want to be in that situation? No, they're too proud of themselves to own up to it. But Dak's salary cap number is 60 mil this year, and it's too high. You pay him 60, you know what happens? Unless you front load it, it's going to balloon up, and it's going to be in the 70s and 80s. That'll be too much too.
And then you're going to have a similar situation that the New York Giants have with Daniel Jones.
Exactly.
Except for Dak will actually produce until he gets into the playoffs.
And then what's going to happen when he hits the playoffs?
He's going to lose. He's 2-5.
Exactly.
He's going to win one game, get to the divisional round. The only way that he's reaching the championship game is if he meets the divisional round, actually beats that team, and then loses in the championship game.
No, he needs a situation like where Brock Purdy hurts his arm and it falls off, like it did for Philly. Because people made that argument about Hurts, and I actually don't even have Hurts up there. Like if I'm paying quarterbacks, I said this on Twitter, and I'll kind of wrap with this because, I could go on the Cowboys all day, and I know you just did an episode, but I would pay, and I wouldn't pay $60 million to these guys. So so I'm not contradicting myself because I had people keep trying to undermine me and say you're contradicting and you're flip flopping. No, I'm not flip flopping. I wouldn't pay $60 million for about 3 quarterbacks and probably just one. I'd pay Mahomes $60 million. That's it.
Yeah.
But the guys I'd pay before Dak, I'll make you a list. And I'm not saying
how about this? I got a game for you. Ready? Each time you say that, you put up a finger. All right. I'm gonna name a quarterback, and then you just tell me if you rather have Dak or that quarterback.
That's gonna be a fun game. Let's do it.
Okay. I'll start at the bottom. Justin Fields.
Dak.
Jared Hall.
Is that who you're considering for the Vikings? Yeah, or Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
It's kind of what it is right now.
Dak.
Well, even Kirk Cousins, it's Dak. Tua.
Dak.
Okay, you're up to 3. You got Josh Allen.
Allen. Easy.
All right, Patriots quarterback.
Dak.
Aaron Rodgers.
At this age, after an ACL, I'd actually rather have Dak.
Okay. So we just took care of the AFC East. We go to the NFC East. Jalen Hurts.
I think I'd still rather have Hurts.
Yeah. Daniel Jones.
Dak.
Samuel Adams. Or Sam Howell.
Howell, yeah. Sam Adams, nice.
I feel like
nice. Your mind is. Dak.
Jordan Love. Already know
Love.
this one. Okay. Jared Goff.
Goff.
All right. Let's go to the NFC South.
I seriously would rather pay Goff. Okay, NFC South?
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yep.
Derek Carr.
Dak.
Young.
Dak.
Ritter.
Who's the other one? Dak.
Ritter. Baker Mayfield. Me and you already talked about this. I already know you.
Yeah, no, I would actually rather have Baker. It's close though.
Yeah.
But this is tight because I did make a top 10 list and Dak actually made it and Baker didn't, but it's really close. I might say tie on that one, but I think for their prices, because Baker's going to be cheaper, Baker's going to be cheaper than Dak. So I think I'd rather have Baker at his price than Dak at his price. So it's like this, like Bill Simmons has a trade value thing at their prices. Mm-hmm. I would rather have Baker. So Baker.
Okay. So that's the NFC South. Let's go NFC West. Purdy.
Yeah. Purdy.
Stafford. Murray.
Dak.
Smith.
Dak.
AFC West. Mahomes. Herbert. O'Connell.
Dak.
Russell Wilson.
Dak.
All right. So AFC South. Stroud.
Okay. Stroud. Oh my gosh, I got to 10 quarterbacks before Dak.
Let's keep going. Mm-hmm. Lawrence.
I'm not sold. I think I'd actually. He's younger, at least. That's tough. You know what? No, I'll give you Lawrence, actually. Now that we're in this game. So we're to 11 quarterbacks, guys. This is fun.
11. All right. Mm-hmm. Will Levis.
No, Dak.
I don't blame you there. I mean, he's got potential, but we'll see what happens.
Not yet. And I'm not saying, guys, So I get contradictory crap that I'd rather pay these guys 60. These are guys I would rather pay at their market deal, whatever it is, or guys I
This is
just
the guys you would
frankly
rather have over
pay than
Dak.
Dak. I'd rather have these guys over Dak. So we're at 11. And it's just the truth.
I guess you could say Gardner Minshew,
No,
even though it was Anthony Richardson.
Dak. And
Okay.
Richardson. I mean, I liked what I saw from Richardson, the glimpses, but I'll still say Dak. So wait, is that all of them?
Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, 12. Jackson.
Joe Flacco.
Dak.
I guess you could say just Deshaun, but still, I would go with Dak.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
Dak.
Joe Burrow.
13. Boom. He's the 14th quarterback. But you know what, Cowboys fans? Pay this guy. Please do it. I want to enjoy this every year. I want to be back every year for the rest of this decade. And let's make it in the 2030s where I can hear excuses about everything else with the team every year. Because there is other issues, but the quarterback is the most important position. It's a quarterback-driven league. And if I'd rather have 13 other quarterbacks, and a lot of people probably would too, then you can't pay him. So just don't. But you can give me all this statistical crap where he stat pads and he's top 5. I don't care. I don't care that he was an MVP candidate last year. That was his first year doing those level of stats. And guess what? He flamed out in the wild card of the playoffs. The wild card. So please pay this guy. It'll be more fun for me. And then I control y'all, and I'll continue to do so. And you can call it clickbait, and I don't care what you want to call it. I'm just going to have fun because I have to listen to you stupid Cowboy fans every year. So let's do this annually. Let's do this in February where you guys have amnesia. You forget what happened in January because you guys try to troll everybody else and get your panties in a wad every single time when somebody talks about your team after letting everybody know that you're America's team, which is, wrapped in mediocrity. And the last time y'all won a Super Bowl, let me think. Rugrats was a big show on TV. There was Dial-Up. Let me think. This was Backstreet Boys. Pre-Britney Spears. It was a century that started with 19.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was a freshman in high school.
You haven't even been back to a conference championship game since then. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. I love it. Let's keep doing this. It's more fun for me.
I was a freshman in high school, and I've been graduated for 25 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But people were like, it's been a long time for y'all. I'm like, well, we've won 2 and we've been to several conference championships, but since then, probably like
even
what,
the Bears
8?
have been to a Super Bowl since.
Oh my goodness. And a conference championship with Cutler.
A couple of them.
21st century. Oh my goodness.
That's actually the last Super Bowl y'all won was the conference championship we were in.
I think we've been to like 8 conference championships since the last Cowboys won, because Rodgers went to like 5 and Favre had a couple. So
how many has Dak been in?
Oh man, I don't know. Is it 0? What? It's 0. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this at 30 minutes, but I did have fun. Do you have anything else, dude?
Oh no, not at all. Because
I had a good time. This was highly enjoyable. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I needed to get it out of my system. I keep putting this stupid banner up. I need to get that out of my system for all you stupid Cowboys fans. So you guys have fun. This is gonna be on YouTube tonight. So I hope y'all have fun with this. And I hope y'all enjoy your awesome off season where you guys can talk. And then I'll be back I'm gonna look up their schedule, all the big games I think they're gonna lose. And then January like 15th, they'll be out of the playoffs probably. If they get lucky and win one playoff game, make it to the conference or the divisional round, the 22nd. So they won't even sniff February though. So don't worry about it. So yeah.
And contrary to what a lot of people thought, I'm not a Packers fan. I'm a Bears fan. And,
yeah, look at that. He's just annoyed with their crap too. So I appreciate it.
So I
but
mean,
if you're gonna come at me with I don't know takes, then I'll provide some stats, and then you guys will still say I don't know, even though I came at you with stats and actual knowledge. Plus, unfortunately, living near Dallas, I have to watch most Cowboy games. My wife's family's into them. Coworkers are into them, so I hear all about it. So I'm going to talk about it. You can tell me it's clickbait or not. It's only clickbait because you made it clickbait. So I was actually trying to help and say don't pay the quarterback. That's overrated, $60 million a year. Even with an inflated cap going up, it's too much money allocated to one overrated quarterback. But no, I would rather let's pay him at this point. Let's extend him. Let's extend McCarthy. Let's get Dak to 65, 70 mil a year. Let's go 4 years. Let's go 280. Let's extend McCarthy after another playoff loss, even though he's really close to reaching the team's goals, as Jerry said. Let's do that. That's a good plan because I read all that stuff because I hear all of it. And let's forget about it by February of 2025. Sounds good to me.
And I'll just go ahead and say it. The Steelers jersey right there, that's my dad's jersey. So, they even beat y'all twice in the Super Bowl. So
I don't want to hear the 5 rings crap. Don't come at me with that weak argument.
yeah,
70s and 90s, good job. Like
weak.
None of these guys, most of these guys weren't even alive on the team last time y'all were in a Super Bowl. So
Steelers have 6.
Yeah. Packers have 4, but they have 13 championships. So we'll claim that one.
Smoke that.
But yeah, guys, I hope all the Cowboys fans enjoy this. Please watch and get angry. Leave me some fun comments. That's what I want. I'm here for it.
Hey, real quick. Do you know what team has the most Hall of Famers in the Cannon Hall of Fame?
Isn't the Bears?
It is the Bears. We got something, baby.
Do you like how I knew that? Oh my gosh, I have football knowledge.
Yeah.
So many people told me I was so dumb today. I almost believed them. Yeah, the Bears are 37. The Packers are 33. I knew that I looked it up to see how many the Packers had, but yeah, we're second. The Cowboys are tied for third, actually, with the Giants. So congratulations. But like the guy said, the guy wanted to come at me with some argument today. Outlaw from Twitter. I'm going to say his name because I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I'm going to call people's names individually. You're going to be that sus. Then the other guy actually muted him. I think it was Jussie trying to clown my credibility. I don't care.
I think it was Juicy.
And then the other one that's been super. Oh, Jussie! That's so juicy with my text. Yeah, he was fun. I'm pretty fired up about it. He was Dino trying to just tell me I contradict myself. Yeah, forget y'all. So hope you all see this. Your names were called out. Congratulations. Yay.
Congratulations.
This was fun for me. I needed to get it out of my system. Yeah, I did clickbait, dude. I mean, it did work. The video got over 130,000 impressions. Wow. And I was honestly not even making it for that reason. I was trying to be helpful. That's what's sad about it. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I will say the weak argument with the ninth. Huh?
I said thank you. For
yeah. Thank you, everybody. For
no good deed goes unpunished, right?
Exactly. But man, the other weak argument I heard that I got to say is about the whole championships. If you're bringing up Super Bowls, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to use the 60s. And my team, since your team was in existence in 1960, my team's won 7 championships. Yours has won 5. Oh man, the Packers won that one. Look at that.
Didn't y'all win the Ice Bowl, which is one of the most iconic games in NFL history?
That one was fun too.
Against who?
Oh man, was that against the Cowboys? Bart Starr had a sneak. Oh man, that was against the Cowboys too. So here's my problem. Cowboys fans, if y'all want to get serious, you're welcome on anytime. I'll have Cowboys fans on. I would love to talk about how you guys can actually improve your team. But we all know it starts with Jerry. Now you don't pay Dak 60. I would cap him at 45 to 50, give him an incentive-laden deal, and you take that clause out. You take that no trade clause out. You take that tag clause out. He has not earned them. I'm sorry. He has not. Take him out. And seriously, I know you can't trade him now. Everyone made that wonderful point too. So if you're not going to trade him, what I would do is I'd tell him, we're going to see how this year goes. And I would be willing to let him walk for nothing rather than pay him too much. And you've got to get the right quarterback. So I would go up to him, tell him what you're thinking about for a deal. I wouldn't sign him for anything, but if you're the Cowboys, you offer him so much money, he doesn't take it, then I tell him, look, we're going to let you go at the end of the year. If you want to get traded, you have the no trade clause. Let's get you to a team that you want to go to, get that draft capital from the team before the draft, use that draft capital to move up for your quarterback. It'd be a bold move. They'll never do it. That's what I would do. They'll never do it.
And if you're a Cowboys fan and if you want to talk civilly about your team as well as any other teams, then, by all means, you can join us. We have our own podcast network. We have 2 different shows. We actually have, 6, 7 shows. So we're doing all right for all those that
MLB.
think we're struggling.
Yeah, no,
we got
people told me I
an
needed help today. I think we have 8 now
Yeah.
with both baseball shows.
I think we're straight. I am
Yeah.
one coach where Isaac is the other. It's cool. You can talk to us. We will be more than happy to talk ball with you. But at the same time, if you choose to be one of those people, that's fine. There are 31 other teams in the NFL that I will gladly talk about as well. That won't feel like this. So
yeah, I think I met one today that's going to hop on next week. I don't know if I told you about it. So
you can
I'll
tell
tell you
me
about
afterwards.
Yeah, I'll tell you about out there. Well, guys, I will have some more mock drafts out this week. Unfortunately, both got canceled. So this was fun. I had a good time. I'll be back with lives in March, but I'm going to be doing some more mock drafts later in the week and this weekend. So, Matt, thanks for doing this with me. I needed to get this out of my system, so I appreciate it.
Hey,
All
no
right.
problem.
Till the next time, Fun Football Podcast out. Med, go check out Shots from the Sideline, where we want to get his YouTube numbers. We want to get a lot of people on the YouTube, but it's also on Facebook, like mine is. We're both on Twitter, obviously, after all the Twitter comments. And I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. So check out the Fun Football Podcast, Shots from the Sideline, all of our shows on Podcast Boys Network, Shady Sports Network. Thanks for putting this on. And go check out Football Expert, American Football Network, and Queen of the Premier.
Shows.
Oh my gosh! Oh, and our baby show, When the Blitz Hits the Fan.
Yeah, come and check us out. It's a football podcast, football panel, and other than that, most of you we love. So have a nice night.
Most of you, yep. That's the point. Okay, let me.